We're continuing to follow this breaking news in Chesapeake early this morning. A shooting at the Walmart on Sam's Circle, and we know police have just confirmed they believe that multiple people were killed.
We are told there was one shooter and they are likely dead. Sarah Hammond is live with us now near the scene. Sarah, what have you learned at this point from investigators?
Okay, guys, yeah, like you said, this is a very active, fluid scene still. This Walmart area is blocked off. This is right off of Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. So far, we know that police believe there was an active shooter. They believe it was just one person. They also believe that person is dead, and they do say there are multiple fatalities and injuries inside. Chesapeake police say they believe at this point there are less than 10 fatalities. They're still sweeping the area to see if there are more victims inside. They're still actively searching for the shooter, but again, they believe that shooter is dead. And there is if you think your loved one shops here at this Walmart and you're concerned about them, there is a family reunification area at the Chesapeake Convention Center. But I'm going to step out of the way so you guys can kind of take a look at all of this activity behind me. There are dozens of police, fire, EMS, just covered this entire area. Again, it's all blocked off, so no one can come in here. Again, the Family Reunification Center is at the Chesapeake Convention Center, so if you think you had someone, a family member, a friend who was shopping at this Walmart that we believe is open 24 hours, then try and go meet them there. Again, police say this is such a fluid situation. They responded as if this was an active shooter situation. They say they've been trained for this. They came in ready. The call came in a little after 10 o'clock, but that's kind of what we know right now. We're waiting, for more updates from Chesapeake Police, of course, at this point.
So what we're seeing from this vantage point, so we're closer to the intersection with Battlefield Boulevard, we're seeing at least, or moments ago, we saw at least one police cruiser actually pull up here with a couple Walmart employees. So they were inside the store at the time of the shooting because they needed to get to some cars around here. I spoke with a couple employees inside that car who tell me, I could tell they were still in shock, they were nervous, and of course, most importantly, perhaps they were just sad. They said to me that they knew the shooter very, very well. And according to police who have said this throughout the evening, that they believe the single shooter in this instance is dead and that there are multiple fatalities or injuries from inside the store. The employees inside the car, a couple of them in there, told me that they just had to resort to hiding in the bathroom, and they heard those gunshots ring out just after 10 o'clock this evening inside a store that was still open at the time. So just giving you a look at what the scene looks like right now from where we are standing. Still a very much active first responder scene here with fire crews, police crews, and police tape up. Again, we're at the intersection closer to Battlefield Boulevard, so not a lot of onlookers at this point, but this is a very much closely watched scene when you talk about people trying to keep up with the latest about this incident.
We located multiple fatalities and multiple injured persons. A little while later, through the course of providing treatment, we were able to establish that we believe it's a single shooter, and that single shooter is deceased at this time. That's really all we have to go on. It's a very active scene. We're just a little over 2 hours past it happening. That's kind of where we are. So.
Can you tell us, was the shooter involved in an officer-involved shooting, or did the shooter?
I don't believe so, but I can't say that for sure. So that's still be part of the investigation. It's all because it all happened very, very quickly, very dynamic. A lot of people involved, a lot of officers. Kind of where we are.
Any clarity as to the relationship? Were they an employee or was it a customer?
Do not know at this point. We're getting a lot of information coming in, and we're kind of investigating all that. We're looking into the relationships and all that.
And is there, if not an exact number, of range as to how many fatalities, injuries we're talking about here?
I don't. I apologize. Sorry. I do not have a range. It's been just multiple fatalities and multiple injuries, and all the injured were transported to area hospitals.
Is the shooter a man, male and female?
Not at this time.
Any important information, because I know the Family Reunification Center is set up, any other information that families may be concerned?
Just that our Family Reunification Center is the Chesapeake Conference Center, and that's at 700 Conference Center Drive. So if you're looking to try to get a hold of a loved one that either worked here or might have been shopping here, that's where you should go, is that 700 Conference Center Drive to try to locate your loved ones.
Through my rearview mirror, I could see a police car coming. So my natural instinct was to pull over, and I'm pretty sure it was most likely the first car to get to that Walmart, because I was literally at the light where you were going to that Walmart. And the car came by so fast, my car shook. And my car is pretty heavy, but it literally shook. And within seconds, police were coming from everywhere, and I literally sat there, and I was counting the police cars. And at the count, before the light could turn green, it was 13 police cars, and I could see a fire truck coming. I got home because I lived less than 2 minutes from that Walmart, and I could just hear police cars just coming and coming and coming and coming. And there are no words. There are just no words.
Unfortunately, just moments ago, I heard a woman wailing, grief-stricken, I presume. She is over with some of her family members right now over there. So some people here in Chesapeake are learning really sad news just days ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday. There are dozens of cars here in the parking lot, and what I do assume is that they go inside and that they're able to sit down inside. So while we don't see a lot of people over here in the parking lot, they are presumably inside the conference center at this time. Again, this is the reunification center for the immediate family members or the emergency contacts of those who may have been inside the Chesapeake Walmart on Sam Circle.
I am Dan Kennedy, live outside of that Walmart off Battlefield Boulevard, Sam Circle, the exact street that this Walmart is located off of. Many of you will know it well. This morning, it is the scene of a mass shooting, and it is roped off with crime scene tape. The latest information in just a moment, but first, let me tell you what has happened within the last 10 minutes out here. Police have condensed this crime scene. This once encompassed this entire parking lot to include Walmart, the At Home, the Dollar Tree, the Sam's Club. But in the last 10 minutes, they have taken down the tape outside of the Sam's Club, outside of the At Home, and now it just ropes off this Walmart parking lot where there are still several dozen vehicles parked here, inevitably and sadly. Many of those vehicles belonging to some of the victims of this shooting. We can tell you that 6 of them were killed by this gunman around 10:15 last night, and as Ashley mentioned, several others also treated at Centera Norfolk General Hospital, though no exact word on their condition just yet. We have also reached out to other hospitals to find out if we can get any more information about whether they took in any shooting victims. But Centera Norfolk General Hospital, the level 1 trauma center here in this area, it's likely any and all shooting victims went there. Casey Baylor joining me now with some team coverage, and just right before we came on air, we got an update from police about when we'd be hearing from them with perhaps more answers to some of our questions.
Yeah, and that's at 8 a.m. You know, we'll be there to cover that for you. But also want to talk about this scene. I mean, this is a place where people are shopping, getting ready for Thanksgiving, getting ready for Christmas. But now this is going to remain a crime scene over the next 5 days. We do know from police that the area is safe. There's no threat to the community. But again, this store is going to be closed over the next 5 days. We do know the FBI and the ATF are assisting Chesapeake Police in this investigation. Several officers still on scene here, as Dan mentioned, nearly 6 hours after receiving that call of a shooting here. We're told the shooting stopped just before officers arrived to the scene. And just a couple of hours ago, officers told us that the FBI was assisting as Chesapeake officers were sweeping through the store. That process, though, wrapped up around 3 a.m. this morning. Again, the city even set up a family reunification site at the Chesapeake Conference Center for immediate family members or those in the building at the time of that shooting. And again, Dan, as we mentioned, we're expected to get some more answers. Hopefully, they'll be able to give us some more information about what led up to that shooting here late last night, I should say.
Right, yeah, and we'll be talking with law enforcement agencies there. Casey, thank you. It's Chesapeake Police, it's the ATF, it's the FBI, it's Virginia State Police, all aiding in this investigation. Now, you just heard Casey mention that Family Reunification Center. Let me give you the exact address because it is so important for so many of you who might be watching out there who think you might have had a loved one inside this Walmart. Currently, they're asking just immediate family members, or if you were the emergency contact of somebody who might have been in that store last night, then this address is for you. It's 700 Conference Center Drive. That is the place to go for the Family Reunification Center. Meanwhile, this morning, state lawmakers are reacting to this mass shooting. Senator Louise Lucas says that she is absolutely heartbroken that America's latest mass shooting took place in a Walmart in my district in Chesapeake, Virginia tonight. I will not rest until we find the solutions to end this gun violence epidemic in our country that has taken so many lives. Senator Mark Warner took to Twitter to say he's, quote, sickened by reports of yet another mass shooting, this time at a Walmart in Chesapeake. He says that he is watching any developments closely and urging those in the community to listen to guidance from law enforcement and to stay away from the scene. Also, we are hearing from Walmart reacting this morning. The company's official Twitter page saying, quote, we are shocked at this tragic event at our Chesapeake, Virginia store. We are praying for those impacted, the community, and our associates. We're working closely with law enforcement, and we're focused on supporting our associates. Ashley, this morning we can confirm through law enforcement sources one of those associates is the man responsible, the person responsible for this shooting. It was a Walmart employee who was the gunman, we are told, and 6 people are dead because of it, 7 when you include the shooter. The exact details on how that gunman died, we do not know. And Ashley, we're also working to learn more about those victims who were taken to the hospital. We will have answers for you throughout this morning.
Yeah, that's right, Dan. And let's actually bring in now Emily Harrison, who's at Centera Norfolk General Hospital, where those victims were taken. Emily, what have you learned so far?
That's right. We are live outside of Centera Norfolk General Hospital. We are still waiting on word for the patients that were brought to this hospital. A spokesperson earlier told me that they are still waiting for an update as to their condition, and in the meantime showed me what the tent looks like and that level 1 response that they have out here by the emergency room. You can see the tent over there, and they actually have security inside the tent. We have been here for several hours at this point. I've seen several people going in and out, and each person as they do are waved down. This is going to be all part of that level 1 trauma center response, as this hospital is one of 5 level 1 centers in Virginia, 2 of which are connected with state university hospitals. Now, a level 1 trauma center, for those at home, is the highest or most comprehensive care center for trauma, capable of providing total care for every aspect of injury, from prevention through rehabilitation. And through the several hours that we have been here, again, we have seen several people going in and out from that tent behind me, some of them in tears, some screaming, some yelling, others simply asking for directions, frantically trying to find a way in. So regardless, this is a very emotional night for Chesapeake and here in Norfolk as we continue to follow all the latest information. But for now, I'm going to send it back over to you guys over in studio. Live in Norfolk, I'm Emily Harrison, 13 News Now.
Yeah, very hard morning for folks to wake up to across Hampton Roads. Emily, thank you. Now, when something like this happens, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and that's where the Verified team steps in. So a lot of you reached out to us saying that the shooter was a manager at the Walmart, and in fact, that's now trending on Twitter. But let's take a step back here. None of that is confirmed at this hour by Chesapeake Police. However, a law enforcement source tells ABC News that the suspect was a Walmart employee. So again, we can confirm an employee of Walmart, not necessarily a manager at this hour. Let's talk about the number of people shot. At this hour, we have learned that 6 people are dead. The gunman is also dead following that shooting. And as you just heard from Emily, 5 people being treated at the Centera Norfolk General here overnight. So we got that information just about 20 minutes ago. We also are working to get more information from police. But again, those 5 victims being treated at Centera Norfolk General Hospital. We're expecting to learn more when police hold a press conference at 8 o'clock this morning. And here's one more here. Is Chesapeake Police getting outside help with their their investigation. We have learned overnight, and you heard it from Casey Baylor, that the FBI and the ATF are assisting Chesapeake police, but they have not released any more information at this point.